Is GoDaddy really that bad? Their prices are so cheap, it's irresistible. But if you join the WordPress hosting Facebook group, you'll see that no one recommends GoDaddy, and you never should use them at all. So it's very simple why people don't recommend them. They have slow servers, their support is bad, they have malware issues, and you will have a slow website and server response time. So if you care about your website and it's a business website, never use GoDaddy. You're going to see a lot of people migrating to other hosts and saying how their website's much faster, but you're never going to see people say, oh, I migrated from XYZ to GoDaddy, my site's so much faster. You're not going to see that if you look at Twitter. And if you search Twitter for slow GoDaddy, you're going to see a lot of people are complaining about their response times and how slow they are. You can do the same thing with their support. But I at least want to provide you with an honest review based on what other people are saying instead of my own opinion. So the reason why GoDaddy is so slow is because they overcrowd their servers, and that's the simplest way to put it. So yes, they offer cheap hosting, but they put way too many people on their servers. And they were also rated one of the top malware hosting networks in the world. And this has been posted by PC Mag, and ordinary people on Twitter talk about how they got hacked on GoDaddy and they have terrible security. This is one of the reasons why iTheme straight up doesn't recommend GoDaddy, and they wrote a long article, well, not too long, on why they don't recommend them. Takes a lot for a company to just straight up say, oh, we don't recommend GoDaddy. Not to mention their CEO killed an elephant in Zimbabwe, and there was a whole thing about that. If you want to watch the video on YouTube, you can, but it's basically a bunch of villagers in GoDaddy hats passing out elephant meat. Forbes straight up said why you should leave GoDaddy. Wikipedia moved all their domains away from GoDaddy when they supported SOPA, the internet privacy thing. Also on GoDaddy, they blacklist a bunch of plugins. So you can't use W3 Total Cache or WP Fastest Cache. You're forced to use their own built-in caching system. And the problem with that is most cache plugins do a lot of other things besides caching. Like WP Rocket takes care of minification, heartbeat control, lazy loading, removal of query strings, hosting Google Analytics locally. So if you can't use a cache plugin, you're missing out on a lot of other optimizations. The other reason not to use them is because they're scammers. They made customers pay to upgrade to PHP 7, and that is criminal. So what happened was, I'll zoom in for you. People ask, if I'm using a plan that's not cPanel, how do I upgrade to PHP 7? They straight up said, you will need to purchase a new cPanel plan as a new account. That is criminal. No hosting company should make you pay to upgrade to PHP 7. And this was talked a lot about on Twitter and how they're scammers and unethical. But they're going to do that to you. They're going to make you pay for like malware issues if they have bad security, but then they're going to say, oh, we found malware on your website, you need to remove it, and then you're going to have to pay GoDaddy for something that should never happen in the first place. And that's kind of GoDaddy in a nutshell. Their support is really bad too. You might be waiting like an hour and a half. It's hit or miss on their support. I have seen some good things about it, but generally not. So do some research in some of the Facebook polls as well. And there's a lot better alternatives than GoDaddy. SiteGround is much better. Cloudways is also very good. WP Engine and Kinksta are a little expensive, but they're good too. Out of the two, I would probably recommend Kinksta, but SiteGround and Cloudways are your two best bets. Even Ivica, the admin from the WordPress SpeedUp group, recommends SiteGround and Cloudways, not GoDaddy. Thank you, Ivica. I moved from GoDaddy to SiteGround today. Night and difference how fast it loads. And you can see people who migrated and posted their new load times on Twitter. You're not going to see this with GoDaddy. Like I said, no one's going to say, oh, I moved from SiteGround to GoDaddy, and look at my new awesome load times. You're just not going to see that. It's always the other way around. So SiteGround has much faster speed technology, and I had 100% GT metrics reports with them. Of course, there are other things that affect your scores besides hosting, but it is the #1 factor of your load time. And I did recently move to Cloudways about 2 weeks ago, and you can see how fast my website loads. I just outgrew SiteGround shared hosting and needed something more powerful. So SiteGround is shared hosting and Cloudways is managed cloud hosting, which is much faster. But if you're still looking for shared hosting, and SiteGround is a little cheaper, then I would go with them. Yoast uses them. And they're generally the best shared hosting provider. Not Bluehost, though. It's an EIG thing. You wouldn't understand. Look up EIG if you haven't already. You shouldn't use Bluehost or HostGator either. I finally ditched GoDaddy and migrated to SiteGround. Better support. And people who post about GoDaddy and it being slow, they don't say any recommendations except switch away from GoDaddy. So SiteGround will migrate you for free. The only thing I don't like about them are their renewal prices. So you can get 3 years of this promotional price, but then it jumps up to this, which is pretty high for shared hosting. That's why I like Cloudways a little better. It's managed cloud hosting and it starts at $10 a month. So these two are much better alternatives than GoDaddy, and I have links to them in the video description if you wouldn't mind using them. But I at least wanted to provide you with an honest review. So this is also what happened when I migrated from SiteGround to Cloudways. This is with SiteGround, and then after I migrated, you can see my response times dropped in about half. So I was already getting really good response times with SiteGround, but Cloudways is faster. The only con with Cloudways is their support isn't as good as SiteGround. But they were rated #1 in a lot of Facebook polls. GoDaddy has horrible reviews, everything about their speed, their support, scammers. Stay away, stay away, stay the hell away. These guys suck. Don't use GoDaddy. If you don't want to use SiteGround or Cloudways, that's fine, but just don't use GoDaddy. Like I said, Cloudways, the only complaint about them really is that their support is not as good as like SiteGround has much better support than Cloudways. But they are faster since they're managed cloud hosting. And I use their DigitalOcean plan. So here are people who migrated to Cloudways and also posted better response times. So, bottom line is that stay away from GoDaddy and look into someone like SiteGround or Cloudways, or Kingsta and WP Engine are a little expensive, but for that price point, if you're still looking into shared hosting, I would probably go SiteGround. If you're looking to upgrade even more and get a much faster website, look into Cloudways. They're worlds better than GoDaddy. So I hope this video was helpful. Again, if you wouldn't mind using those links in the video description to SiteGround and Cloudways, I'd appreciate it. Otherwise, just stay the hell away from GoDaddy.